in this journey. Why
And
we have
in old age too.
a best thing, and you have been doing at this age, you are learning
Yeah,
and you are asking the brain to contemplate and reflect. And at any age, when we start contemplation and reflection, the neuroplasticity, you might have heard, epigenetics, you 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 create more new cells.
that's true. I have been reading up on it where I could. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. But I still have, yeah, of course, problems with my memory. There are things I just names and things like that. That's
don't
very hard.
don't worry about it. When you forget something, thank your mind. You have given me an opportunity to recall and remember. So I will sit calmly, and then I will ask my mind to recall and remember.
Okay.
How simple it is. But if I continue to get into anxiety, I forget the things because of my age. So you are moving backward.
All right. Yeah.
Understand, that is how our Eastern wisdom works. Understand a beautiful principle. You have a right knowledge. What is the right knowledge in Eastern wisdom? That I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am the real self of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. There lies the unconditional love. Now, once you have touched it, once you have understood it, like you understand, you see that, pick up the understanding, reflect on it. You have the exact address of your home. So wherever you are in the world, you know the address and you can reach your home.
Okay.
Sometime it may happen that you are driving and you take a wrong highway and you have driven 50 miles in opposite direction, but again you remember, my goodness, I have driven in the opposite direction, because that knowledge does not, it is not lost. How do you know that you have driven opposite 50 miles in the opposite direction? How do you know? Because you know the address of your home. And that is with that reference, you know that you have driven in the opposite direction. That is understanding. Why I said so?
I'm sorry. What was it?
Why I said so? Right knowledge, once we have the right knowledge
Right.
settled in the intellect, you are getting rid of the delusion, you are getting rid of the misconceptions, you are getting rid of the false notion and the conditional love that you have written.
Hmm.
So, my master used to say, an ignorant cannot become a seeker because he does not know. He has yet to know. But a seeker may sometime become ignorant
Hmm.
because of the past impressions. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
You, that is what I gave an example, that you have driven in opposite direction 50 miles. How do you know? Because I know where my home is located. Now I'm answering your question. So anytime the mind says I forget, ah, thank you, God. Thanks God that I forget. At least in that forgetfulness, my mind is relaxed. Let me relax my mind, and then I will recall and remember.
Right.
Done.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget the names of the people, and I said, "Oh, thank you, God." After all, are human beings.
That's true. Sometimes it's good to forget some people.
No, no. The moment your mind, but remember what I said, it is to be understood clearly that ignorant cannot become a seeker who has not followed the path, who has not experienced the change. They cannot become a seeker because they don't know. They are still ignorant about the knowledge. But a seeker may sometime become ignorant. Why? Because of the past impressions are already present in my mind.
Mm.
Vasna, I discussed about it. Vasna, sankalpa, vikalpa, imagine pain and the pleasure. Because of that chain reaction, I may sometime become ignorant or forget or may have a memory issue. Thank you, God. But if a seeker finds ignorance keep coming and difficult to remove it, it leads to hypocrisy.
Mm.
So it leads to hypocrisy, it leads to delusion, it leads to the problem in our daily life. I forget. Yesterday, Boris called me and he said, "Do you remember that you have attended? There was a guy from Moldova, a very tiny country in the European Union, who has come from there and attended your session." I said, "Yes, yes," but I didn't know.
Oh.
So, because he called me to convey some message. So, why should I say no?
That's right.
Then he said that he loved you. He has seen couple of your videos and he has become a great yoga teacher in Moldova and he wants to invite you for a week trip so that
Oh,
you can teach his students.
yeah, that's where you were before in Moldova,
So,
right?
so
It's
he
a
said,
small
"Do you?" I said, "No, I remember." So I'm just then what I said. How I have to work with it? I said I have not collected his phone number. So can you send me his number? Oh no, no, I
town.
will definitely send you. So he sent me the number and number with the name.
Oh, oh, good.
I got the name. I got the name. And after an hour, he called from Moldova.
Yeah.
So I know his name is Leonid. And then I record. After that, because he attended my session, so after looking at his face, I said, "Oh, yes, yes, he attended my sessions. Oh, he loved it." And I also remember that he appreciated my session on meditation. Okay. And then we discussed for an hour and the problem is solved.
Good.
So we have to be, so what our Eastern wisdom teaches that I have to live in self-awareness all the time. Should I forget myself? Answer is no. So what I forget myself? That I am the real self. I should forget definitely that I'm the body and the mind. It's a memory is a mind problem, not my problem.
Okay. All right.
I am walking in a right way. I should not strike the wall. I should walk through my door. Do I know? Do I remember the restroom? Where is restroom? Where is the kitchen? Where I have to get the food? Where I have to sit? Where I have to give the lessons? where I have to sleep. I know everything, so my memory is intact.
It's like it reminds me. Some people who I have a small house. The guest bedroom bathroom is upstairs, and then I said the people asked, "Oh, and come for the first time, where is the bathroom upstairs? Oh, which door?" I said, "You know what? You will recognize the bathroom when you see it." I think that's so funny. I mean, you know, you won't mix it up with the bedroom or the kitchen.
Eastern wisdom makes the life very simple. By understanding our life, the movement of our life, and so that we can take the right action in our life. So, what I have done, I said I discussed about it, Mangala Charan and the mantra. The first thing that we should be doing every day in the morning, and we have to make a habit. Why we have to make a habit? Because every day we have been waking up in the morning, mind has been the worst master for us. Mind becomes the master. Every day I wake up in the morning and I say it's a bad morning. What harm the sun has done to me?
Mhm.
People said that my Monday is always crazy. What Monday has done harm to you? The mind is trying to delude you.
Right.
Every Monday is good Monday. Every day is a good day because the sun rise. Even if the sun doesn't rise, there is a cloud. It's good. It's a nature. Nature does not change for you. You have to acclimatize with the nature. So that why so we need a kind of a self-discipline in the beginning. What is that? Beginning has to be made every day when you wake up in the morning. The first thing you remember, you sit on your bed, eyes are closed, and you recite the Shanti mantra. It may be Asatoma Satyagamaya, it may be Sarvesham Swastir, or even in English, peace is my essential nature, happiness is my essential nature, unconditional love is the nature of the real self. We should not allow the mind to become my master. That is why we have uh, the Mangalacharan. Mangalacharan means that I enter into an auspiciousness. Auspiciousness of what? The world, the nature offers me that movement of the auspiciousness. But how come it is auspicious? I wake up in the morning and I'm still alive. Is it not auspiciousness? I'm still able to breathe. I'm still able to recognize this world. Do you see that I'm still breathing? I'm able to recognize auspiciousness. Definitely, I know by sure that I will get my food today. When the mind thinks in this way, it is helping to minimize those past impressions of negativity, of delusion. So I have to contemplate. That is what we did in, I think, in two practices of Mangala Charan. Huh?
Yeah.
What we did. So that is what. So I should every day, past few weeks and few weeks, you should listen to it. And after listening, then another 5 minutes. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. You are discovering peace in the world that is known to you.
Mm.
Why? Because the mind says, oh, that guy is crazy. The mind will unnecessarily invite these thoughts. So that is why we do the japa. We repeat Om Shanti, and then we become aware of the known world. Second Shanti, we become aware of the unknown world, expect it to enter into my life today, and I'm ready with self awareness. And third Shanti, peace is within me, peace is my essential nature. So, with that reflection for 5 minutes, you are mentally saying Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You know what is going to happen? Now you have a knowledge. That peace is present behind the name and the form in every person. Say, I say one person, he is very crazy. But do I have, do I have, I'm rephrasing the sentence, do I have a notion about that person that he's always looking for stress, he's always looking for anxiety? No. Every human being is looking for peace and happiness in the life. Whether person is crazy, whether your next door neighbor.
Yeah, that's right.
So she's trying to be happy by being arrogant, by being egoistic. Eastern wisdom says this is ignorance. Why don't you understand it? Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So what is my response should be? If she knocks your door, mentally your mind says, "Oh, Om Shanti to the known world. Welcome, please do come." And keep quiet. Listen to her. If she's asking for some support, give to her. Say goodbye. So you continue to live in peace. You inspired her to be in peace and the life. That is what is the meaning of the Shanti to the known world. This is what the Master is saying. That Shanti, without that peace, joy, and the unconditional love, this existence cannot survive. The water does not change its nature. The earth does not change its nature. The sunlight does not change its nature. Why? They are in a giving mode. Why shouldn't I be in a giving mode? That is the essence of the Eastern wisdom. Either I can give in through my reaction, through my anxiety, through my fighting, or I can give through the knowledge. That is the first step we should follow, like a self religiously, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, until the time comes. Your mind now reminds you, oh, did you do that? No, let me do it. But I'm in a hurry. Oh, but I have to take a cup of coffee. You take a cup of coffee, and you start. Your mind will start repeating the same thought. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Think. This is the beauty of the Eastern wisdom. We are going little deeper. So, what is going to happen? The mind is not going to be the master, mind is going to be the servant. Don't forget
Mm-hmm.
one,
Right.
one statement. If the mind is the worst master,
Yeah.
mind is the faithful servant, provided we make the mind faithful servant. If I don't make the mind faithful servant, then it is going to be the worst master.
Yeah.
Then it will continue to say, you wake up today in the morning, it's such a bad morning. Why it's a bad morning? Because I'm feeling tired. So you are in ignorance. Now you wake up in the morning and your mind says, don't you feel tired? Yes, let me do the practice and get out of it.
Mhm.
So I removed the delusion from the mind. So if the delusion continued, then what is going to happen? The whole day will pass with craziness. with blame and complaint. Because mind has already taken over you. Mind is the master now. The moment you say you are tired, and then you say, no, I need a cup of coffee, but I cannot wake up. But anyhow, let me forcibly wake up. Now you see the chain reaction of the thoughts coming from the past impression is going to create a lot of challenges. One simple example. That is what the delusion is. That is what the delusion is. So understanding the delusion means I acknowledge, I have understood here is a delusion present in the mind. So once you have an understanding, the delusion is gone. Only I need an understanding, but it is supported by the practice regularly, then it is going to be stronger. That is how I recognize the delusion in other people. When they talk, when they give it, and I recognize. I instantly recognize, and then I say, oh, this is the principle needs to be applied. So delusion is like a golden cage that traps us in the false belief. Delusion is like a golden cage that traps us in the false belief. And I give you the greatest example. Buddha, whose first name was Siddhartha, astrologer predicted that he is going to be a great monk or he is going to be a great king. His father was a king. He doesn't want the Siddhartha to be the monk and the master. So he created a Las Vegas in Sin City in his kingdom. What is Las Vegas in Sin City? Because you are driving all kinds of pleasures from the world outside. So all kinds of wine, all kinds of women, all his servants were young, so that he should not see the old age, he should not see the sickness, he should not see the dead, he should not even hear the word death. And he lived in that golden cage for 16 years. We try to grab the pleasure from the world. We make an effort. We get stressed. Many people say that I have a lot of stress going to the job. Why you are doing the job? Because of the money. But why? Because of seeking a pleasure. But the Siddhartha was put into a golden cage. That is why I see his father created a sin city, all kinds of pleasure, and he was not exposed to the death, he was not exposed to the sickness in the physical body, he was not exposed to the old age. All his workers were quite young. Well, that is what we find in the Sin City. That is what we find in a star hotel. Oh, welcome, welcome, and what service can I do? They may be very crazy people, but it is their profession. They have to talk in that way. Is it not a delusion? 16 years. Can you imagine that he didn't know? At least in 5 or 6 years, we start thinking someone dies in our house, and the 5 year, 6 years old ask, what is this? What happened? Where my dad, where my grandpa has gone? He did not have a chance to ask that question. That is why I say it's a golden case. But it means that he was not exposed to the truth. He was living in a false belief. But even living in the delusion could not prevent him to become the Buddha. Why? He he had a very sharp, I can say, he had a sharp intellect, huh? And he recognized when he saw the dead man. He asked the cart driver, what is this? Why people are taking him and where? Why he is sleeping on this? No, no, he's not sleeping, he is dead. So, but what do you mean by the dead? First time he asked. Dead means that now he cannot perform any action and we cannot meet him, we cannot communicate, and he explained. So then where this body is going? Our body is going for a cremation. So the life comes to an end. And he kept quiet. He started contemplating and reflecting instantly. He became totally silent. Do we have that level of contemplation and reflection? That sharp. He saw the sick man. He said, what happened to this guy? Sick man? What happened to this guy? Sick man? Ah, the health is a dynamic state, health and the disease. Everyone, finds some unease and discomfort. Functioning of the organs are not in an optimum level. Also, this will happen to me also. So the car driver said, my master told me not to say you, but now you have seen the sick man. I cannot say no. It can happen to you also. And then he started contemplating, is this the life? So you see that what we say there is a proverb that sometime you are put into a cage. Must His father thought that it will do better. Instead, it did. Blessing in a disguise. He started contemplating and reflecting. And that is what the Eastern wisdom is asking us. First, we should listen and learn the knowledge, and then we should contemplate and reflect. Well, if we can contemplate, reflect like a Buddha, only one day is necessary. So he contemplated, is this the life? No, I don't want to live this life. The third incident happened. Then he saw the old guy, and his spine was deformed, and he was walking through a long step. Who is this? Uh, Friends, I should not tell you as your dad has warned me, but now you have seen. I cannot speak the untruth. Everyone has to face this. I also, yes. So you see that while the horse cart was moving in the kingdom and he was observing, at the same time he was contemplating and reflecting. How many millions of people we have seen are sick? We did not contemplate. We try to avoid. We try to ignore. We try to forget it. And then we continue to live in a delusion. You see the comparison with this Siddhartha and comparison with us. Then the fourth incident took place. A monk was sitting on the side of a street and a car driver said, oh, he is a monk. He's finding the answers of that. He found the answer. He's absorbed into meditation. Siddhartha said, return the car to the kingdom. And he spent about 5 or 6 months contemplating and reflecting only on these four issues. Will I become sick? So I become sick means that I am the body. But when I use the possessive case, it is my body. It means I cannot be the body. But I'm not able to find the answer of that. He started contemplating. He had the son. I'm talking of the delusion. And after 6 months, he reached to a conclusion that he has to acquire the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom, like the monk did it. For that, he has to leave the kingdom. But question comes, should we also leave everything? I will answer you. Yes, only for an hour every day in the morning. The moment you wake up in the morning, tell your mind, no more things, objects, thoughts from pertaining to the world outside. I am sitting on the bed and I will confine the territory of the mind only into this bed until I complete my practice. That is equivalent to that is equivalent to going to a forest. Again, question comes, Siddhartha was so contemplative, it means he was intelligent, he contemplated, then why he did not remain in the kingdom? And the answer comes clearly because his dad was crazy, dictator. He should not have allowed the Buddha to meditate and learn. And that is why he has chosen that he has to leave the kingdom. So don't take that, oh, he left the kingdom, he became a monk. Yes, I should become a monk inside. Outer external robes are symbolic. So 1 hour of the practice that includes the Shanti mantra, that includes the japa, that includes the contemplation and reflection, that includes listening and learning, and 1 hour. You will recognize, I can bet you, you will recognize after a few weeks, once you open your eyes, you will say, is this my house? Yes, this is my house. You will feel that you are too far from your house.
Okay.
Your mind becomes so clear. It is because it is transparent, it is clear. We have made our mind servant
Hmm.
because you feel a total freshness. It means the delusion is gone, ignorance is gone. But why I say the delusion is gone, that state of the consciousness is the consciousness of a seeker, is the mind of a great seeker. And if you reach to that state of a seeker, ah, there is no end to the journey of unconditional love, peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. Why I said so? That after an hour of the practice, you open your eyes and you find, oh, it's such a new and fresh. I see the freshness in the house. No, it is because of the freshness in the mind. The delusion is gone. It's nothing to do with the house. House is still the same. What is the secret behind it? What the master says. Now that mind is not seeking pleasure or in expecting anything from the external world. That is why I experience that freshness. Are you getting it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all a matter of awareness, self awareness.
Mhm.
And because now this mind is not having, seeking any pleasure or running after any of objects for expectation, you don't have a frustration, anger, and anxiety and hesitation. Do you see they both are linked?
Mhm.
Anger, frustration, failure, fear, anxiety is due to the pleasure, seeking pleasure, and expectation. So why I feel the house is so fresh, my bed is so fresh. Today my coffee is so good because you are drinking the coffee without any expectation. The mind is totally transparent. First time you will recognize. Feeling upset when reality does not match our expectations. And that expectation lives in the mind. And that mind is the master. Mind says, expect. Mind says, seek the pleasure. And that is why the mind is already filled with subconscious thoughts and impressions and imagined pain and the pleasure. That is why it feels so heavy, so overburdened when we wake up in the morning. In that state of overburden, I say it's a bad morning. There is no bad morning. Do you see, are the masters right in understanding this journey of Eastern wisdom? You have to check. Eastern wisdom is not saying that we are not imposing any principle. We are just asking you to understand and that apply this and see. So, by doing the daily practice, we check the progress in overcoming the delusion. Overcoming the delusion. How? Morning awareness. Morning awareness. I use the mantra and the self reflection. My mind is not running anywhere. I remember it. Mindfulness during the day. I recognize and address the negative emotions at a distance. Are you getting it?
Mm.
Recognizing and addressing the negative emotions. I recognize the Leonid in Moldova when he talked to me, but before that, my memory was not there.
Yeah.
So it is better to address. Mind says, no, you will forget. And one day in that forgetfulness, you die. Nobody dies in forgetfulness. Thank you, mind. I forget it because I'm relaxing.
Yeah. Good.
So you see, you recognize and address the negative emotions mindfully. And now you see the two options are there. You address your negative emotions mindfully, or you address the negative emotions with the craziness and reactions. What will happen if I forget even my house? So one mind is the master, other mind is the servant.
Yeah.
We make the mind master, we live in delusion, developing new attitude and behavior. So when you are doing the practice every day, just simple practice, listening and learning, contemplation and reflection, what is going to happen? Think of it. Mind is the servant, mind is living into that state of the calmness every day in the morning. You have a challenging situation, your response with a changed attitude and behavior.
Okay.
So now that imagined pain and pleasure is not trying to find a solution of the problem, your response is mindfully. Now, intellect will come to the mind and it will respond with a changed attitude, with a changed behavior. That is the role of mindfulness.
Yeah.
And that is what we are going to study in this text, which I say is called Bhajagovinda. I told you there are two names of this text. One is the Bhajagovindam.
Yeah.
That simply means recognize and realize the real self of unconditional love. And second title is the Hammer the Delusion. How I
Yeah.
hammer the delusion? By recognizing, by understanding, by contemplation, by reflection. That is what the Siddhartha did. Siddhartha did not know he has to hammer the delusion, but he was contemplating.
Yeah.
So he imagined that I will also become sick, I will also become old, and I will also die. But then he has a sharp, very sharp intellect. Perhaps from the previous birth, we give a logical answer that from the previous birth, he had done lot of practices and his mind awakened to that contemplation and reflection. So he started contemplating. When I say it is my body, it means it is not me. Then who is this I that never dies, that never becomes sick? And then he left the golden case to find that answer, and he became a great answer. So that is why we say to hammer the delusion and to find that unconditional love, listening and first is the Mangalacharan, for another 5 minutes is the mantra, then pick up any audio file. But it's better to pick up the latest, listen to it, even 15 minutes. Don't need to listen the entire. Why 15 minutes? Your mind will got interested in one principle. Stop it and start contemplation and reflection. Why this beer guy said this principle, how it can be applied, where it lies, what are, and reflecting means that I reflect the events in my life where I reacted with the delusion. Oh, so now I will change my habit and behavior and attitude. I'll be responding in a different way. To whom? To anyone, to everyone. To the Jack, to the Philip, to the friends, and to everyone. Even to the food that I eat. I told you that whatever the food is served on the table, I like to eat. But gently I say today this should have been cooked properly. Why I say eat to live or live to eat. I know the simple principle. Eat to live. That is, if that is the goal, then I will definitely react. Live to eat. Live only to eat, then I will react. And eat to live, to exist. Other why? I have to eat every day. We all have to eat every day. So only one one eating today is not a good eating, but the next meal would be good. Why to worry? So it means what? Your behavior and attitude changes. This is what the master is saying by understanding. And then comes that, then what happens? Now the mind is transparent and the mind is ready. It goes inside naturally. It raises its awareness. And then it is capable of recognizing that real self. So here in Bhaj Govindam, Govindam is the name of the Krishna. You see, our masters, Krishna is the one of the greatest masters of Eastern wisdom. One name of the Govinda. Another meaning of the Govinda is the real self. So those who do not understand intellectually, we say, look at the Krishna. Meditate on Krishna. Krishna is sitting inside your heart. But here what we are doing, the real self is of the nature of consciousness. Our masters have chosen very carefully each verse so that it can be applied across different people having different temperament. It is something like mirror and the reflection. I have told you, think of it. So every time you stand before the mirror, just see that I look into the mirror. And there is an image. I look into the mirror, I see my image into the mirror. But for practical purposes, That is also a very sweet delusion, huh? Because when I am putting lot of stuff and I'm just brushing the teeth, I am brushing the teeth into the image. At least the birds and the dogs are better than us. When they look into the mirror, they see some other dog is trying to approach to them. At least they are better than us. They are much better than us. Do you see? Even the birds, start hitting and striking the mirror. Even the dog starts uh, hitting and barking. Uh, oh, you are different than me. We don't recognize that image is not me. It is image. Image is different than me. You see how our masters gave those metaphors and parables to make us understand. No, no, I should take care. I should look into the mirror and I should say, yes, this is an image I see, and I see this image to brush my teeth, to shave, and to do extra. But remember, that is an image. I am not into the mirror. That is another perfect example of the subtle delusion we experience in our daily life. So, a regular, in the beginning, it's just for a few weeks and months only that we need to do it. And once we follow this, you will recognize, or until the mind reminds you, not only in the morning, and it is always good to just lie down on the back, be retiring to the bed as if you are trying to sleep, and take your mind to that mantra only. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So you have not to change the sides of the body and waiting for the sleep. The very mantra helps you to put you into sleep easily. I don't see that. It takes me hardly 3 to 4 minutes for me to sleep. The moment I lie down on the bed and it sleeps. And from